what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 12 of the AKSports Podcast. Today we're going to be going over some of the stuff from the NBA yesterday. We had two Game 7s yesterday, so we'll look at that. So we have the conference finals set. Golden State will play Dallas and Miami will play Boston. The remaining seeds are all different numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll start off with the Suns-Dallas game. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Like, a blowout, sure, but a blowout for the entire game was a bit unexpected. Um, yeah, just seeing that the way CP3, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker played was just not okay. Like, your top three can never go like 1 for 15 in the first half. Luka had more points at the half than the entire Suns team. Overall, just a disappointing loss for the Suns. I think for you to be a 60-win, the only 60-win team in the NBA and the number one, like overall number one seed throughout the NBA, it's just so like uncharacteristic to see them lose that way. And like it reminded me a lot of the Golden State Memphis game, Game 5, but that was a Game 5, and the Golden State Warriors are still in the conference finals. The Suns, that was a Game 7, so it's just like I don't understand how they played a game like that. But I'm rooting for Luka in the in the upcoming series. I wouldn't mind who makes it from the West. I'd like to see Boston make it from the East. I'm just not a big Heat fan. And I'd love to see Tatum play in the finals. I think going on to that series as well, Game 7 for Milwaukee, Boston. It just seemed like throughout that series, Tatum was the most complete player overall, just because defensively, offensively, his shot making, his playmaking ability, like overall, when you put it all together, it seems like he's the most complete player, and a lot of it comes from that defensive side. Like you could think of Giannis, like yeah, really good on defense, like pretty good on, like really good on offense, obviously, but he doesn't have a jump shot. Um, and you think of like other great players like LeBron's probably one of the most complete players as well, just because of his defensive presence, and he has somewhat of a jump shot and he can always drive. I'm trying to think of another really. I think the second most complete player is who he's going up against now, in Jimmy Butler. Um, Great defensive presence, has a jump shot, can take it to the basket. So those three aspects of the game, I think Tatum is the most complete player, and Jimmy Butler follows a close second. So I think Boston's gonna win this. Um, just because they just beat Milwaukee. I thought Milwaukee was going to make it to the finals for sure, but the fact that Boston won that one and that too a blowout as well, is quite interesting. Both of the um, conference championship teams from last year are both out in the second round, which is crazy. Um, and now on to the conference finals matchup. So Dallas and Golden State. I think Dallas wins this series. I just think no one's guarding Luka one on one, but I hate to go against Steph Curry as well, just because like he's one of my favorite players as well. So um, I'm not gonna I'm gonna just go do the same thing that I did for the Phoenix Dallas series, where I'm gonna just root for the team who's down. So if Dallas goes down 1-0, I'm gonna root for them. If Golden State's down a game, I'm gonna root for them. If it goes to a Game 7, I'm just gonna just flip a coin, I guess. I don't really know. But I think I'm rooting for Boston in the East. I wouldn't mind to see Jimmy Butler get a ring either, though. Like he's definitely deserving. I really like Jimmy Butler as well, but something about Boston just seems, and Jason Tatum seems fitting for them to win this. Um, I don't really like Marcus Smart though. He's like the Chris Paul of defensive like calls. Like Chris Paul will flop on offense to like have the refs call a foul on defense, and Marcus Smart will flop on defense to have an offensive foul called. So they're like both of the same type of player, just on different sides of the ball. Um, and going back to the whole Chris Paul thing, it was a depressing sight. Like for how much like smack they talked, I was so disappointed in the Suns. Like Devin Booker, like he's not supposed. Like he really gave a shout out to Kobe going 24% from the line. Like his field goal percentage was 24%. Like I don't know if he's doing that for like you guys know, but I have no words for that Suns loss. And Luca and Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson, they're the real deal. If they play, if Spencer Dinwiddie and um, more Spencer than Brunson, because Brunson has proved it more than Spencer Dinwiddie has. But those three, they can really play. Like, what's it called? If Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson play the way they've been playing against the Suns, I don't think Golden State wins this series. But if Jordan Poole plays the way he's been playing and Steph and Clay play the way they've been playing, like if it's Game 6 Clay every game, then you'd never know. Like, um, I think both of these teams are heavy 3-point shooting teams with Finney Smith for the Mavs and Golden State with Clay. Um, so overall, it's been a great playoffs so far. Um, Philly losing again, like they need a different guy other than Harden. Literally anyone other than Harden. Like Harden is the new Westbrook. Like the way he performs in the playoffs is how Russell Westbrook performed in the regular season this year. But even then, I think that was Anthony Davis's fault. But we'll go on to the Lakers stuff like after the season's over. But Dallas Golden State, Luca. I think Luca's going crazy. He's averaging like 30 for the playoffs. It's insane. And I think Tatum's going to be the X factor once again in the conference finals. I do think though, if the Bucks had Chris Middleton, the series would look a lot different. I don't know if it goes to a game seven. Um, yeah, I think Chris Middleton was the X factor there, and then I guess the Bucks just didn't have him, so kind of took him out. Um, and then the Suns, Mavs, bro. There's literally nothing I can say about that game seven. Like, I genuinely like have no words to describe like what happened during that. So it's just like I like Booker, CP3, and Aiton went like one made combined made one field goal in the first half. The Mavs star player Luka Doncic had more points in the first half than the entire Suns team, which is crazy. Or I think the exact same amount of points, which is crazy. He 1v5 them. Like, bro. Booker did get doubled a lot though. Um, a lot of people were saying like Booker's overrated. You could make that argument. I don't think he's overrated. I just think that game he was doubled and it was just a bad night. But the fact that CP3 and DeAndre Ayton didn't do anything to help, that's what caused the loss in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited for the next round, the conference finals. Starts in starts tomorrow. So game one for Boston is tomorrow. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun game. I'm thinking about which player to get for my next jersey. Last year, throughout the playoffs, I got the Devin Booker jersey. So now I'm thinking like which player to get. Now I was thinking Luka Doncic, but the Mavs jerseys suck. Um, and now I was leaning towards Tatum, and then I was thinking Klay Thompson. Like I would get a Steph jersey, but everyone I feel like has a Steph jersey. So um, either Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, maybe, possibly a Joel Embiid jersey, a Tyler Hero jersey, Jason Tatum, yeah. Um, I would get a Ja jersey, but not a big Memphis fan. I was thinking Denver. I could get a Michael Porter Jr. jersey, um, Trey Young jersey, all these jerseys. I might get a Bulls jersey, low key, if because if Caruso and Lonzo were healthy, I think that series looks a lot different. Not 4-1 for sure. I think it goes to a game seven for sure if Caruso and Lonzo are healthy because Lonzo sets them up really well at the point. But yeah, I'm excited for next season as well. But back onto this season, if I had to make a pick, I think Boston wins, I think Dallas wins, and I think Boston wins the whole thing. Um, I'd be honestly with any of these four teams, like I would be okay with them winning the chip. Like there's like certain teams that I just like would not be okay. Like Utah, like I would if Utah was in this position, I would not want to see them win the. I don't know why. Something about Rudy Gobert, or if it was like Minnesota or like Memphis, I would not. I wouldn't really like care for them to win. But out of these four, I think anyone wins. But my prediction right now is wins the whole thing, just because I think they're the most complete team left. Maybe see Miami's like the perfect matchup for them. They're a similar team in the sense that They're a really good defensive presence as well, and they can score offensively well as well. Offensively as well. Um, but it's crazy to see that the champions, conference champions from last year, exit so early in the second round. Both of them by blowouts, which is interesting. But yeah, that's it for the playoffs. We'll move on to some NFL stuff now. So on to some NFL news. Drew Brees is done as an analyst. He might be. He said his future is uncertain. He might be coming back to play. He doesn't know what he wants to do. So, just thought that was an interesting piece of news that I just found out. But let's look at the power rankings. Way too early. The Bills number one. Really, after losing to the Chiefs like that, you can put them number one. Like you just haven't been able to get past the Chiefs, and you're gonna put them number one. I just don't get it. Like, um, L.A. Rams, 2. That's fair. The Bucks 3. The Chiefs 4, and the Packers 5. Wow, that is wild. Okay, so we'll start with the Bills. Let's see what it says here. So it says after not addressing their interior offensive line. Here, let me adjust this. Yeah. So, after not addressing the interior offensive line in the draft, the area remains a need for the Bills, and it would not be a surprise to see them add a veteran or two before training camp. For now, however, the returning interior players benefit, blah, 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 blah. I just don't get how you can put him number one. Like, sure, like, it's got to be someone who's in the conference championship game last year. Um, that's got to be number one. I would put the Chiefs number one just because I think they have overall the best roster now, even though they don't have a crazy good wide receiver like Tyreek anymore. I still think the Chiefs are the number one team in the league. Might be a little biased, just a little biased. Okay, if I'm talking like no bias at all, if I had to pick a team to be number one, I would probably put I'd probably put the Rams just because I still think the Rams are the best roster. Then I'd put the Bills at 2. Then I put 3 the Chiefs, and then 4 the Bucks, and 5 I would put. I was thinking the Ravens before, but I just don't see how the Packers, excuse me, can be number 5 without any receivers. Like, bro, they drafted 2 receivers and they're both starters already. Like, how do you expect them to be so good? I guess you do have Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, the most talented thrower of the football. Um, I guess I could see the Packers at 5. They were in the championship game, but they always choke in the playoffs, so you can't really put them higher than that. Okay, let's go on. So Cincinnati at 6. That's fair. They were in the Super Bowl, which is fair. The Chargers at 7. I thought they'd be a little higher just because of every move they made was a perfect move in my opinion. Even though I hate the Chargers, but like the Khalil Mack addition was great and a necessary addition. Um, the J.C. Jackson necessary addition. Now their defense is crazy. Asante Samuel Jr., J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. So that's their 4 solid, great guys on defense. And then on offense, you got Jay Herbo, crazy high ceiling for him. You got Eckler, you got Keenan Allen, and you got Mike Williams. So you have like 4 key guys that you need on each side of the ball. So it's great to see that like they know what they're doing. And then the Cowboys, I don't think they should be top 10. I'd put the Niners higher than the Cowboys, and I'd put the Ravens higher than the Cowboys as well. This needs to go, dude. Who in their right mind trades AJ Brown? Yeah, we see a guy. He might be as good as AJ Brown in the draft. He might be as good as him. You already have him. Why do you trade him away to go get him again? I have no idea. the only reason I could see this happening is because of money. Like AJ wanted too much money, so that's the only reason I could see this happening. Um, oh, oh, that's weird. Is that allowed? I was trying to adjust this. Okay, this here. Okay, yeah. So that's like the only way I could see them, like, see this move being valid at all. The Broncos and the Raiders. I feel like they're gonna be similar similar teams, just because I think Jerry Judy's in jail. I think. Um, Speaking of the Denver Broncos, real quick, the Royals beat the Rockies. I'm here. Have fun with that. I thought the Rockies were really good, but I guess they're not. Y'all lost to a shitty team like the Royals, so just wanted to throw that out there. Now back to the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I just think like they're gonna be a good team. I don't know if they're gonna be a great team. I think it's gonna be how Russ was with the Seahawks when he would make the playoffs, like 9-7, 10-8 kind of season, or 9-7, 10-6 type season. 10, 9. How many games? There's 18 weeks, 17 games. So 9-8, 10-7. There we go. Okay, yeah. Raiders, similar thing. I think they just got a little bit better, not too much better, but just with the sheer, uh, like caliber of the teams in the AFC, I just don't think they're gonna do that well. Plus, they play the Chiefs and the Chargers twice, so I don't know. But everyone hates the Chiefs. Like the AFC West, like if everyone had to pick one person to vote out, the Chiefs are getting voted out just because everyone hates the Chiefs because they're the best team in that division by far. The Colts, I'd like to see them a little higher. I don't think people are putting enough respect on what Jonathan Taylor did last year. And they drafted, I think, Alec Pierce, I think was the guy they drafted. Either him or Calvin Austin, I don't remember. It's one of those two. Um, but the Colts, like, they have Jonathan Taylor. They got a serious, solid wide receiver in Alec Pierce. Um, and they go from Carson Wentz, who's an up and down quarterback, to Matt Ryan, who is a little less of an up and down quarterback, maybe. Um, I think I think Matt Ryan will be hopefully a good fit. And their defense has always been good. But so let's see what it says here. Unlike in 2021 when they used their first two draft picks on pass rushers, the Colts went on the offensive side of the ball with their first three draft picks, which shows they have a lot of faith that Pay can be one of their two pass rushers next season. They didn't select the defensive end, Yannick Ngakwe. So yeah, I feel like the Colts will be good. Patriots, I feel like that's a good spot. I feel like Eagles should be a little higher. They have AJ Brown now. Bro. Like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Getter. I don't know how to say it. I feel like they should be higher. The Eagles should be higher. The Browns, fair spot, depending on if they have Deshaun Watson. I feel like this list is if they don't have Deshaun Watson, just because we don't know if he's gonna play or not. 18 Miami Dolphins. I like seeing them here. Just because they have Tyreek now, I would love to see them like be bad, because Tyreek wanted to leave Patrick Mahomes to go play with Tua. So hopefully he can overcome the difficulties that come with that. But I don't think it's gonna happen. So I like them there. I think the Arizona Cardinals are gonna be shit this year. That's a good spot for them. The New Orleans Saints this is a okay spot. It depends. The Steelers, I feel like they will be a little better than this. Their roster was pretty complete, other than a QB. They did lose Juju, however, to the Chiefs, obviously. But this is gonna be an interesting year for the Steelers. I thought that the QB spot was the only one they needed. I'm surprised they took one this year, but I guess they liked what they saw in Kenny Pickett. Commanders, pretty solid. Vikings, all these teams. I'm surprised the Jets aren't higher than 29. I think the three first-round picks they drafted are solid contributors and impactful players that will make a difference this year. I'd probably expect them to see around where the Giants are. And And the Bears, I don't think they're going to be that good. I feel like the Bears have potential to be all the way down here. 31. The 32 Panthers, like, that makes sense. The Panthers being the worst team. Falcons, Desmond Ridder is not going to help them. Detroit Lions are always going to be bad. They did get probably my favorite receiver in the draft in Jameson Williams. The Jets, they got Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, and Sauce Gardner. So I think the Jets, really good corner now, really good wide receiver, and a really good defensive end. Three of the most important positions. It's just whether Zach Wilson can live up with those weapons or not. Houston, they lost a lot of their key players in Justin Reed, Lonnie Johnson. They didn't really draft that well, but we'll see how they do. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the power rankings. Let's see what Saints head coach says. So we'll pause. I don't want to watch that. New Orleans Saints head coach Dennis Allen says a cryptic tweet by Drew Brees, who said, hinted at a possible return to football was likely made in jest. Despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC, I may play football again, I may focus on business and philanthropy, I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour, coach my kids, or all of the above. I'll let you know. Looks like this man wants to do everything. It's crazy. Jair Alexander, 4-year, $84 million. That's wild. So he would be the highest average earning cornerback, defensive back. That's wild. Deserved, though, well deserved. I think Jalen Ramsey should get it, but Rams have a lot of mouths to feed, so. Oh. I did not know this. We lost Melvin Ingram. So the Dolphins reached deal with Melvin Ingram to bolster pass rush. 1 year, $5 million. They gave him $1 more million than the Chiefs did. So the Dolphins just want all Chiefs old players, and they want to pay them hella. So they can do that. Because within a year or two, they're gonna completely regret it. Vikings, Falcons. Let's go to this. Kansas City Chiefs won't ask rookie wide receiver Sky Moore to replace Tyreek Hill. So let's read through this article a little bit. So, needing to rebuild their receiving room after trading Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs had options when they got to the second round of the NFL draft. They could have, for instance, taken Vias Jones Jr., 4.31, 40 Ash. They went for Sky Moore. Isn't similar to Hill at all. He ran a 4.41. Sky's unique. I think he's more of a slot receiver is what they're trying to say. And they talk about how the additions of MVS, Miko, and Juju, not the addition of Miko, but the addition of Juju, makes it overall into a good combination of wide receivers. So, overall, I've talked about this a lot. I think the Chiefs' wide receiving core got better. They did lose Tyreek, but they got three really good guys instead. And I feel like the ball is going to be spread around a lot more, so we might not have that alpha guy, but having that alpha guy does help. So I guess we'll see where the Chiefs are after training camp and OTAs and all that stuff. But I think that's about it for today. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Just a short episode today, just a little update with everything. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.